Welcome to Sci-Fi Frontier. I'm Dominic, and I'm joined again here with
Wally.
And we're here to talk about Lost in Space, the new Netflix series, and we're going to talk about episodes 2 and 3. So just to give a quick... so we'll start off with episode 2, and just to give kind of a quick rundown. So in this episode, their ship is trapped in the ice, and the robot goes down and kind of dries everything out. And then here we kind of get to know Don West more in this one. And it shows where his ship crashed and how he escapes. And then the episode kind of ends with a big storm that the Robinson family have to try to get back to their ship because they want to investigate the downed alien craft. And then in this one, we see Don West gets double-crossed by Smith, and then she gets saved in the Argo by the Robinson family, and then she tells him that she's all by herself. So that's kind of like the rundown of this one. So a lot of spoilers. We'll be, picking apart these episodes pretty good. So what was your thoughts on episode 2?
Well, I enjoy the fact that they're actually breaking down all of the characters that are going to be involved in this show. So the fact that Don West and Dr. Smith are focused on in episode 2 here is kind of a really nice rundown. You kind of get a feel for the Don West character is more of a survivalist, I guess, from what you thought you'd see him as in the first episode. Where we thought he was more of a engineer kind of style mechanic, and then he crash lands on this planet, and he's just one of those guys that just needs the right tool, as he says, to figure his way out of a situation. There's anything that can't be fixed. You just need the right tool, he said. So,
yeah, I really like the characters in this movie, especially Dr. Smith.
Show, not movie.
Or I mean, show, yeah. Dr. Smith, I think I really like the woman that plays that character.
Yeah, Parker Posey.
Yeah, Parker Posey. She does a really good job. She kind of has that devious look to her. And
yes.
And I kind of like that Don West in this. He's trying to be like more of a badass than what he really is. Like he tries to play it off. He's kind of like all for himself and heartless, but it's kind of an act. Where Smith is the opposite. She's trying to be more compassionate, but it's kind of an act, and she is really heartless.
Yeah, and just all about saving her own skin. So
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it's a nice play on the two characters because. After we reviewed the movie, you saw the kind of tension that Matt LeBlanc, Don West had with Dr. Smith and God, I can't think of his name right now. It's
Gary
Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
That's the name. Yeah. So, yeah. But again, it's fantastic the way that they're playing off of each other. And,
yeah.
I mean, you just don't know what kind of things are running through the episode, the Netflix Lost in Space. Dr. Smith is what's the reasoning for wanting to abandon him in that cave with that rescuee that they had. I think the name was Goodard on the name tag, but
I think that character's Angela. I think.
I think the chicken is what he named Angela.
Oh, I thought it was okay,
But it's I'm enjoying it. Like you just don't know. There's just so much craziness that the Dr. Smith is going to go through of just trying to save themselves. And that she's just going to screw over whoever she has to get what she wants. Yeah, and
you notice that she takes advantage of his because she figures out pretty quick that he's not really the tough guy or self-centered guy he's claiming to be.
Yeah.
She takes advantage of that because she drops the necklace and then wants him to go back. Oh, I lost my necklace. He goes back, and that's when she uses that chance to steal the flare gun and escape, and then basically screw him over, and then he's left with nothing.
Yeah,
and then so you don't know if he survives the storm or not. You kind of left wondering, and then she is one of the few people so far that knows what that robot's all about.
Yes, because after she first saw the robot after getting out of the chariot, once it got back to the Jupiter 2, and she saw it there, she knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But, and she had to play it off like she didn't know what it was, like not running race, screaming and whatnot, just kind of did that frozen in place kind of a stare at it, and Will coming back to reassure, yeah, it's okay, he's with me. So, so.
Yeah, it was. The highlighted episode was definitely the Don West Dr. Smith part.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this is the whole developing the characters, which is what we've said has not happened in Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, which has not happened in Star Trek Discovery. Characters are much more fleshed out, much more. This show is just so much better than Star Trek Discovery.
Absolutely, again, the start of episode 2, you're right into it.
Yeah,
the whole. I don't even know what Jupiter they were on. I didn't even catch the number, but the whole thing breaking apart, and Don West trying to save Dr. Smith right off the bat like that. Yep. I mean, it's just, you are right. It just dove right into it. Like we're not waiting for anything. These are the events that are happening. This is how it's gonna play out, if you know what I mean. So
yeah. Overall, another really good episode. Special effects, really good as well.
Yeah, the ship, the flying of the ships, the holographics on the robot's ship after it started to realize.
Yeah, it kind of had like
memory flashback.
When they both grabbed the panel, they kind of had a flashback there. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, and they're really showing the attachment to one another that they have. So,
yeah.
So, again, it didn't really flesh out why they're so bonded together, but obviously there's a connection.
Yeah, there is some kind of a connection. Yeah, and it's kind of fun to speculate about this robot. Like, is that like what the whole race is like, or was he built by a race? And because it seems like is he the only one that's on that ship that crashed? It's kind of interesting to kind of speculate about that.
Yeah, definitely gets that feeling, and we won't, because I've seen the entire season. I'm not going to jump ahead yet to spoil anything, so we'll just do it episode by episode. But yes, it really gets you wondering.
And, yeah, it does.
And it would.
And I think doing it this way, having him an alien robot instead of a robot they built, is kind of gives it a good twist, because people are kind of don't trust it, and then kind of gives it like it's a mystery around this robot, like why did he attack the Resolute, and why did he...
which hasn't been answered, and maybe we'll find out in this season, maybe we won't, but yeah, I mean, would I have still enjoyed to see this robot just be tied to the Robinsons without even this hint of it being maybe an alien race that'll just, turn on them at the drop of a hat, because it all of a sudden remembers the points to before the crash of its ship.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
yeah, so they got some interesting stuff going on. So overall, I think another good episode.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's definitely one of those ones where you sit down there and you start watching it, and you're not looking at your watch.
Yeah, you're not. You're glued to it.
You're right into it. So at least for us, it is.
Yeah. So now let's talk about episode 3. So again, spoilers. Now in this episode, just a quick rundown of the plot. So basically they're still trapped in the ice and they're trying to get out, but now they run into the problem where they got some weird eels that are basically eating their fuel.
Yeah.
And they got to find some way to deal with the eels and blast out of the ice. And so another good episode, and this one is another good one, and it's kind of interesting to see that the robot goes out of its way to protect Will, locks him in the closet with Dr. Smith, and then Dr. Smith, you can kind of see the gears turning. She's trying to figure out, how can I take advantage of this robot?
Yeah.
Because she's starting to ask, like, Will, how is it this robot listens to everything that you say?
Yeah.
So you can already see the gears are turning in her head, that she is trying to think of some way that she can take advantage of this robot to benefit herself. And but at the same time, she kind of has like a bit of a moral conscience, because she was going to use the escape pod to escape.
Yep.
But then at the last minute goes back and helps Marine put the filter or whatever that was back in to get the engines going.
The cartridge or whatever, the reclamation pod or not reclamation pod, whatever the terminology they used for that that cylinder that she couldn't push in, and yeah.
So what did you think of this episode?
Again, it's another one of those things. This is what's better about the TV series Lost in Space as opposed to just the movie that was done in 1998. you can kind of flesh out this series better in a series because because you can get these episodes and they can deal with these. Let's say, what would be the best terminology? The best obstacles, I guess, for each episode to deal with. And okay, you could touch on these in a movie, but you wouldn't really be able to put the time that you want into it like they did with this one and the eels, right? Like discovering that, okay, we've got these eels that ended up on the Jupiter because it flooded. So so the eels were part of the ice when the Jupiter sank, when they got into there, and that's the robot didn't dry up the water at that level. But you could get going along, and then they could decide, they could find out that okay, these things are they're in the ship because they're eating, they like the fuel that the Jupiter runs on. So you get that little bit extra detail that you just don't get with the movies. And again, nothing against the 1998 movie. I like the 1998 movie, but this just makes the story just fits better on a series.
Originally, it was made for TV, right? So
it was,
it's kind of like
so
it makes sense to have it as a TV remake kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Now, are they going to do? Could they do a movie for this when the series comes to an end? Sure, but I think I'd want to see it more like the way they did it with Firefly. Firefly was a whole different ball of wax, but in the end, the movie that they did for it wasn't just a summation of the series. They just kind of just used it as an ending point. Just used it as a grandiose episode to end it, which is. I could see them doing that with this Lost in Space.
Yeah, that's a possibility. You could do it. Yeah.
So, and I'm sure they definitely have room for this. I mean, I can easily see this series going to 9 seasons easily. Like I'm sure you could come up. The creative teams that are doing this I'm sure they've got just stuff just on paper that they're just fleshing out as they're going along. Like they're just screenwriting this all up, and it's just gold so far.
It's been a really good series so far. I've been really impressed. And
The
other thing too, that you kind of get to see that Judy kind of got to overcome her fears because she's still suffering from the trauma of being stuck in the ice.
Yeah, exactly. The claustrophobia kind of.
Where she gets pinned again by the.
Yeah, the containers in the storage room after they. I guess the ship shifted.
Yeah, it shifted in the ice. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and then she, she had the fears earlier on when she went to the lower decks, and there was just the whole cavern or the whole hallway in the lower deck was full of water, right? So you could see her not wanting to get in there, and she's got that feeling, and she has to overcome it. So
yeah,
and she slowly does. I don't think she's completely over it. I mean, this is something that'll be continuously revisited as
something she has to overcome.
It's going to be this is going to be a whole thing for probably the whole series. I don't know if they'll write this out of her. I'd almost be disappointed if they did.
Yeah,
it would.
Or at some point she'll overcome it, I guess, as a personal battle. But the other thing I want to say about the series, like just going back to Star Trek Discovery, I like all the characters in this.
Yeah,
like they're all really interesting characters, and they're all likable characters, and the family has really good chemistry between all the actors. Like it was really well casted. Like they really get a sense they're really good family, and like they all really end up working together as a unit to solve the problems.
Yeah, the camaraderie that comes in the end. That this is how this needs to happen.
With Star Trek Discovery, you kind of got a lot of characters that I don't care about.
Well, okay. Not that I'm defending Discovery, but Discovery is a whole new series of all new characters, and Lost in Space is the same characters they've done for lots of years. The 65 series, then they're all named the same. The movie 1998, they're all named the same. This Netflix series, they're all named the same. The only thing that's different is the different actors that are portraying them.
Yeah.
But you know who the characters are. So in defense, yes, that's why. But yes, you're right. The characters are far more likable than the ones in Discovery. There are one or two, again, granted, that are interesting.
Yeah,
but,
no, there are some interesting characters in Discovery yet.
But this one, I mean, they just work very well.
Yeah, and I think the difference being in this Lost in Space, it's an ensemble cast.
Yes.
Where Discovery, like, it's focused so much on Burnham to the detriment of the other characters.
Yes. And that's definitely not what's happening in the Lost in Space series. Absolutely not.
So, yeah, no, another fantastic episode. These two episodes, like, definitely, if you're not watching this series, like, you have to watch this series. This is definitely one I recommend.
Yeah, this is for a sci-fi fan. This is, as we've said before, is a staple series. This needs to be watched.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. It's fun. It's interesting. It grabs you. You know, you feel for these people.
Yeah, it does.
You get that kind of a...
And it kind of... It's one of those shows that, like, you know, you kind of need nowadays. You could just sit down and it just totally escape into another world like a lot of shows used to do. And I really appreciate that about this show.
Like, it really does. Like, I know you referenced Earth 2 when we talked through the pilot episode. But don't you feel like that this is exactly like an Earth 2?
Yeah, it kind of does have that feeling, that 90s show Earth 2. It kind of does have that feel to it.
Yeah. And again, that was another one that I really enjoyed, and I was very saddened to find out it was
went off the air.
Yeah, it was canceled. But you know, you still get that same feeling. So
you do. It does kind of give you that same feeling. Yeah. No, a fantastic series. So I guess any final thoughts on these two episodes?
I mean, we haven't done a really, really in-depth, you know, one episode per show kind of review, which, yeah, okay, we could do that, but, you know, we're trying to just kind of sum up this whole thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, all I can say with this is that, yeah, I can't wait to get on with episodes 4 and 5. Like,
yeah,
I've seen this show. I'm rewatching it. I'm enjoying it just as much as I did the first time around, and that's a rare commodity nowadays.
Is, yeah.
Like, there's movies that you can watch that are really good, and then you watch them. You go back and rewatch them, and then you start to, you know, yeah, it was a good show, but I've seen this, so I know what's going to happen. So. You know, I get nothing against the movie Unstoppable, but that's when I first watched the movie Unstoppable with Chris Pine. Yeah, that was a fantastic movie, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then you rewatch it, and you're like, yeah, okay, I kind of lost the excitement that I got out of the first one. I still enjoyed the movie. Yeah, but it just lost it. But I don't get that sense from this series of Lost in Space.
No, I don't either. I enjoy it too. Yeah, watching it a second time around. Yeah, it's very entertaining, very good show. And yeah, for me, final thoughts. If you're not watching the show, I would definitely give this one a fair shake and give it a few episodes. Yeah, and I think if you're a science fiction fan, I don't think you're going to be disappointed with this show.
No, absolutely not. It's very, very well done. It's very well cast. It's very well written. Yep. I mean, what else can you say about that whole thing?
It is. It's very good. So I guess we'll wrap it up there. So let us know what you think of this series in the comments section, and we will see you at the next one. Thank you to all of my subscribers, and thank you for watching this video. And if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification when new videos are uploaded.